Looking for a smartphone that both fits your needs and slim budget is not easy, thanks to brands that have been actively introducing best value phones like the one we will be discussing today in this video. This is the Huawei Nova Y61. I consider this to be something that fits the lifestyle of a lot of consumers without compromising cost or performance. In this video, we're going to quickly explore its vital features, which could help you decide if it's the right fit for you. One of the major features of the Huawei Nova Y61 is its 50-megapixel AI triple camera. This is among the slim list of smartphones that sport this same feature. And it's amazing that Huawei is able to trickle down the features of their pricier products to this one. You will remember that the Nova Y90 also packs a 50-megapixel AI camera, but some consumers want something more affordable than it. Now, with the introduction of the Nova Y61, you can now experience the quality of having a 50-megapixel camera on a smartphone without spending more than 8,000 pesos. Now, just to give you a full spread of specifications of its cameras, complementing the 50-megapixel main camera is a 2-megapixel depth camera and another macro camera. Its depth camera is ideal for portrait photography and contributes to better and creamier blur effects. Now here's how you can maximize this feature. Fire up the camera app, choose aperture, select an aperture level and take a photo of your foreground subject. The foreground subject is the closest to the camera, just like in this case, it's going to be me, and the background subject is behind the main subject, which is this one. Now, I'm not a pro photographer or videographer, but in my experience, having a background that is further away from the foreground achieves better bokeh results. Despite its low price, it's interesting to note that it also has a macro camera that can shoot a subject at 4 centimeters from the lens. Now simply go to Camera app, choose Super Macro, and shoot macro photos as you please. I highly recommend that you shoot with the flash turned on for better results. You need to understand though that these features, while built into the camera app, are not perfect at all. There are times when you need to consider the lighting condition prior to taking photos because we're not talking about high-speed cameras here, which even more expensive cameras cannot easily handle. When shooting in aperture mode, there are times when the edges of the foreground subject are not as neat as my shots using the Huawei Mate 50 Pro. But then we are speaking here of a smartphone that costs almost 8 times less than the Mate 50 Pro. So keep in mind the factors that can contribute to the quality of your aperture shots. Now, if you're going to take a portrait photo of someone instead of choosing aperture mode, I suggest that you select portrait mode instead, which automatically uses f1.8 at its default aperture. Thankfully, this one also has a portrait mode. In terms of performance, the Huawei Nova Y61 is powered by an octa-core processor and 6GB RAM. Now, it is interesting to know that this one is packed with 6GB RAM, which is outside the norm of the devices within the same price range. Some phones priced around 8,000 pesos have 4GB of RAM plus an additional 4GB virtual RAM, while others have only 4GB RAM. Now, from what I've seen, a 6GB RAM phone works much better than one with more virtual memory. While having virtual memory works, it's very limited, which contributes to bottlenecking. The device I received has 64GB storage, but it can be upgraded up to 512GB through micro SD card expansion. This should be more than enough to download and store titles with large dependent files such as Call of Duty Mobile and Torchlight Infinite. Another important feature that this phone has is its 5000 mAh battery and 22.5 watts supercharge compatibility. With this configuration, you can get about 9.5 hours of gaming, 25 hours of phone calls, 13.5 hours of continuous web surfing, or 13.3 hours of video streaming. It charges quickly as well. In fact, 30 minutes of charging time can give you 4.3 hours of game time or about 6 hours of online surfing. Imagine mo na lang na nalimutan mo siyang i-charge sa gabi, no? Just use the 22.5 watts charger and charge it while you're preparing to leave for work. In 30 minutes, it will be enough for you to book an angkas or Grab or take it with you as you commute for work. If you decide to charge this overnight, you won't have to be concerned because Huawei designed this with Intelligent Safety Supercharge. It has 20-layer battery protection, battery safety assistant, and built-in charging management. When you go to battery settings, there is also an option to let the phone finish charging short of its actual peak capacity to extend the battery's lifespan. While charging, the phone also has a USB port overheating protection which provides additional security, not just for you, but also for the phone. Now, these are by far the best features of the Huawei Nova Y61 that I have found. In addition to all of these, you'll also be able to use extra features that make it work best with Huawei's super device ecosystem. In my case, I fired up my PC manager on my MateBook X Pro, hovered the phone over the keyboard, and it started to establish super device connection. Now, with this feature, I can back up my photos and videos and access the phone files. Unfortunately, the phone does not support multi-screen collaboration, which is totally understandable because it's a flagship feature that I don't think will work on the Nova Y61 or even the phone can handle very well. Now, just in case you're also wondering, while you can download tons of top applications on App Gallery, you can just simply download Gbox, which is a virtualized environment to allow GMS on your Nova Y61. Now, this can be downloaded by going to Gbox's website. Link is in the description. Thanks to Gbox, I can now access my Google Home account on the Nova Y61 or other Huawei devices. Performance is very optimized and it's easy to navigate and also ad-free. You can also create a shortcut to the home screen for quick access. Now, if style is what you fancy, the new Huawei Nova Y61 looks amazing in 3 color choices with star effect finishing: midnight black, sapphire blue, and mint green. Now, if you're looking for a phone to give your loved ones this Christmas, I think that they'd love the Huawei Nova Y61. It also looks very minimalistic but aesthetically pleasing with its side-mounted fingerprint sensor and huge 6.52 HD display. The Huawei Nova Y61 is now available for pre-order here in the Philippines for 7,999. When you pre-order, you'll get a free coffee mug worth 999 pesos. Now, if you're particular about my full review before buying, you can check it out on our website. At the time of the production of this video, I still have not yet finished my full review. Once done, I will leave the link in the comments section. That's it for our video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and also clicking or dinging that notification bell. This has been Gian, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye!